So, how to program yourself for success in network marketing? So, first thing to remember is that, okay, I want you to note that some of the content that we are talking about here, now you will be able to make correlation with so many things we spoke about in the last few weeks of what Brian Tracy has been talking about. Please make those connections for yourself. So, we are not programmed for success because our past influences, which includes various people who are a part of our life, have had their influences, and we are operating out of that surrounding. So if you recollect what Senthil talks about, he says that your environment influences you very, very strongly, and that past influence we are talking about is the influence of the environment, which includes family, our friends. It includes our education system. So many aspects of our education system. For example, Robert Kiyosaki, he says that the unfortunate truth is that our modern education system, with whatever fantastic education, including for people who are into MBA and everything else, it does not teach you how money works. So there's a problem with the education system or the impact of the education system. Our cultural and religious beliefs have an impact. So all these things together, the programming for success is kind of distorted because of all this. So I will give a very interesting example of a typographical error. Okay, let us suppose that you are having a kind of a Word document you have typed out in the computer, and you are giving a command to the printer to print that document, but there is a typo error in that document which you did not notice. Okay, the example may sound a bit silly, but just look at the spirit of this example. Now there is a typo error in that document that you have printed, you did not notice it, and you give the print command, so it goes to print, right? Now when the print comes out, obviously that error which was there, which you did not notice, is there in the final printout. So now you notice that error, and what do you try to do? You are trying to correct that error by correcting it on the printout. That means you erase the error on the document, and then you try to say that, okay, now let me take another printout. Okay. Now you again print. Obviously, the error is still there, right? And now what do? You say, oh my God, this error has not gone away. You erase even harder, but on the printout that is coming, right? And you again give it for printing. When you try to print again, the error will still be there, right? So fixing the problem is not the solution here. That means the problem is that there is a typo and you're seeing it on the printout and you're trying to fix it at that end. That is not the solution. What you need to do is that you have to go back to your computer, you have to go back to the document, and you need to correct it at the source of the document. That is the source, which is the document. At that document, you have to make the correction. Make the correction on the computer. In other words, you have to correct the programming itself. What we are trying to do is we are trying to correct the end result. That will not work. We have to correct the programming. Unless the programming is corrected, the end result will keep coming. The same results will keep coming. So, they say that you are stuck in a certain habit pattern and you keep repeating the same things again and again, but you are expecting that a different result will come out. How is it possible? You cannot get a different result by doing the same kind of action. If you want a different result, you have to take a different kind of action also. So that's what we mean by correcting the programming, right? And then print it and it will get corrected. So now bringing that connection to our entire our life itself, it works at every area of our life at this point, but specific to network marketing. Now, when we look at our whole network marketing thing, typically the way we approach it is, tell me what to do. The moment, let's say you look at, okay, now what do I do? What do I need to do? The mindset is, tell me what to do. So if you take a certain timeline in network marketing, we are looking at what is the activity that I do, and this activity will give me a result, and that result is leading me to a certain lifestyle that I am dreaming about. So most people are focusing in this space of finding what activity to do and hoping to get a result out of it, and that will lead to a lifestyle. Okay. This is what most people focus on. So we're looking at what action, if I perform, will lead to the result that I need. Okay. If I correctly do my activity, then it will change my result and therefore my lifestyle will change. This is the expectation. But what you have to remember is this, that activity is like the printer. Okay. It is not the computer. So now let us look at, if activity is the printer, then where is the computer? Let's look at it. Now, success and failure, it has a certain pattern in network marketing. We will look at this in depth today. Even before you start the activity, there is something, it's like behind the scenes, if you want to look at it. Okay. And that is, what attitude do you have? With what attitude are you approaching whatever activity you are doing? That attitude is going to decide how your activity gets performed. Okay. But there is something even before attitude. The thoughts that you have, what kind of thoughts you hold, what kind of belief systems you hold, those are going to determine your attitude. But now there is something even before the thought, and that is, how are you programmed? So if you recollect the training sessions that we've been talking about Brian Tracy, we are looking at reprogramming our subconscious mind. So many things we are talking about changing our, from a negative outlook to a positive outlook. Everything that we have been talking so far is, we are talking about changing this programming. Unless we are willing to first recognize that there is a programming and change that programming, and therefore there is a change in thought, and therefore there's a change in attitude, then the results will follow a different pattern. Now, unfortunately, most people do not even look at what is on the left side of the line. Everybody is focusing only on the right side. Everybody is focused on activity and then what after activity. The left side of the line is what is going to determine your success. It is not the activity, it is your attitude, which comes from your thought, and the thought comes from your programming. So in other words, it is how you are programmed that is going to determine your success. In other words, if you want to bring success, you have to change your programming. Okay, so now let's look at what is it that creates your programming. What creates your programming? As we said, the first slide, if you remember, we are already pre-programmed. That is, if you look at what a different word for it, we are already conditioned. So family is one thing, friends, our education system, we looked at all this, right? Religion, culture, even the media. Today, the media is a very, very strong influence on our life, our friends, our peers, our media, everything. So remember that what thoughts these people or these groups have about various areas of life is what is determining your programming. So which are the areas? The kind of thoughts that this set of groups of people hold on money. How they look at money is how you will look at money. They look at entrepreneurship. How they look at what is success and what is important in life, right? How they look at risk taking. Okay. The attitude, your attitude towards risk will depend on how you're programmed. In other words, basically everything that you are doing, okay, is influenced by the thoughts of all these people. That is what is the programming. All this influences our programming, right? And therefore, subsequently, it automatically influences our thoughts and our attitude. So we have to be clear about this, that we are conditioned, and which is why there is so much of emphasis on changing the company that you keep. Okay, so that brings us to this law of association. So this is a very, very powerful law. I have heard this spoken about by multiple top trainers. Whatever videos I have seen here and there, multiple top trainers are talking about the impact of this. So please carefully listen to this, the law of association. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Okay. In other words, you will walk how they walk, you will talk like how they talk, you will earn what they earn, your earning will also be similar to, you see the kind of the level at which this can go. Your earning will be similar to what they earn. Your lifestyle will be similar to their lifestyle. And you will read and listen what they read and listen, right? You will go, the kind of places that they visit is the kind of places you will visit. The kind of dress they wear is the kind of dress you will wear. Okay. So please carefully note this. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you just list out, okay, these are the 5 people I'm spending most of my life with. If you take out their average income or their behavior, all these aspects, you will find that you are somewhere there. Okay. How to change it, or what can you do about it? There are two options. One option is that you choose 5 people who are well above where you are. That is, their capability, their income, their everything that they do is at a completely different level. Their level of success is at a completely higher level than where you are. And you are at the bottom of it. Okay. You stay at the bottom of the 5. That means you are the lowest on the economic and influential ladder. Among the 6 of you together, you will be the last. Right? Now, if you choose this, your associations will pull you up towards them, because you will become the average of this 5. Second option is that you are at the top. That means you are the most powerful person in that entire group. That is, you are the most influential person among all those peers of yours. If that is so, you have a following, like an entourage, and that is not supportive for your growth. If you are seriously looking at success, this arrangement will not work. Okay. So there are 2 options that you have. You can choose to go upward, that is, choose to be the lower side of the 5 average, the 5 whom you spend most time with, or you can be the top end of the 5 people who spend most time with. You have to make a choice which direction you want to be pulled towards. Okay. And remember, as we said, it is automatic. It is a law. Whether you like it or whether you don't like it, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, this is the way it works. So you can choose to stay at the bottom of the 5, or then the lowest. That means you're the lowest. That is the ideal choice. You have to make that choice. Be the lowest in the economic and influential ladder, and your associations will pull you up so that it matches theirs, right? So in other words, we are saying change your association, and that will change your life. Okay. So the law of association, please bear it in mind, and please look at how to apply it in your life if you are looking for success in your life. Now let's look at how success and failure looks in network marketing. As we said, behind the scenes is this programming, thoughts, attitude, and that in turn leads to activity, which leads to result, and which leads to the lifestyle. Right? Now, if we look at this right side, if we want to look at how that whole thing plays out, okay. Basically, somebody who is successful in network marketing, he is repeatedly repeating a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That is, there are we've been talking about this repeatedly with many of you, we have spoken about it, that about 6 or 7 steps, just repeated consistently on day-to-day basis. We've been saying that just do this repeatedly. We'll look at all those steps subsequently before the end of this presentation. So a few simple disciplines practiced every day, that is the hallmark of what makes a person successful. And what makes a person a failure in the same space of network marketing, where the opportunity is same, everything else is same, is that a few consistent repetition of errors in judgment repeated every day, that will lead you towards failure. So now what is the, let's look at it. What is it that is consistent positive activity, and what is the consistent negative activity? So somebody who's using the product regularly and somebody who's not using the product regularly. Somebody who hands out a tool or a flyer or a video or a testimonial to somebody he meets, a lead that he meets, and somebody who does not do that. Someone who regularly attends the meetings, like this training session, whatever other training sessions are there, and somebody who does not attend the session. Somebody who gets the prospect on a three-way con call. We say that after the presentation is over, get them on a closing call. Somebody who does it and somebody who does not do it. Okay. Someone who gives the necessary number of invitations consistently and someone who does not. Okay. So like that, series of things that somebody does and somebody else does not makes the difference between success and failure. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is this, that for this, somebody who's successful, for this to happen, what is he doing? To be able to be consistent in doing this, there is a discipline. Okay. Now, the problem with this is that, it feels like you are doing all that, you are very disciplined and you are doing this rigorous thing. And on the other hand, this other person on the other side, that is on the top side, the person who's at it is very disciplined. He's rigorously doing all this. What happens is you will find that you are alone in this space. Okay. Of course, you are disciplined, but the point is nobody is watching you. So in other words, nobody is going to come and pat you on your back saying that, wow, what a wonderful effort you've put, right? This is how it is to be on the top side. When you're on the top side, you will be alone. Of course, you will stay disciplined, but nobody watches you. There is nobody to tell you good, bad, nothing. Nobody is coming and patting you on your back. Huh? And there is no acknowledgement or encouragement from any of the fellow members. That is how the space is. And yet, if you persist, then that path leads you to success. And of course, nobody is checking on you. See, remember this whole big difference between a job and any of these entrepreneurship initiatives is that there is nobody checking on you. In a job, there is somebody who's monitoring, there is, cameras, and there is, your time is monitored and your performance is monitored, and this, that, everything is monitored. There's a boss who tells you what to do, what not to do, when you can go and have tea, when you can take a leave, and all that. Here, when you're an entrepreneur, and particularly in the network marketing space, there is nobody to check on you. Okay. It is completely up to you. In other words, this space is a very, very uncomfortable space. This is what we call a zone of discomfort. So because you are in the zone of discomfort, and if you choose to be disciplined, this can stay. Let's look at what it is the other person is doing. Okay. Who is making a series of errors in judgment. He is having fun. Okay. At the same time, the others in your business who are also in the same business, who are also in the network marketing, what are they doing? They are repeating their errors in judgment. Okay. So many of those steps that we said, that, they are not inviting, they are not making the presentation, they are not making closing calls, they are not positioning the product or giving the flyers to people, repeated errors in judgment. And other than that, they're just hanging out, they're having fun, they're partying. Okay. Maybe they're watching Netflix movies, binge watching on movies. All this is going on the other side, etc. Right? It's a very, very comfortable space to be in. So comfortable, such fun to be there. Now, the thing is that for somebody who's on this upper zone, who's disciplined, it is very difficult to digest this. That, you're sitting at home and you're doing all the hard work, okay, and someone else is hanging out at the parties, right? And at the end of it, for a certain period of time, both of you will be earning just about the same amount of money. So you will feel that, array, I am putting so much of effort and I'm also earning a similar amount of income. And that guy is not putting any effort. He's doing all the, inappropriate things or not doing anything at all. And he's also getting the same amount of income. It can be very, very demotivating and frustrating. Okay. Which is why it is hard to stay at the top doing the discipline. That is why we are saying it is a zone of discomfort. Okay. It's challenging to be there, where you're consistently doing the right things, where everybody else is not bothering. You may, find some of you who have a whole team, you may find that there are many people in your team who are not doing anything. They are not attending this training sessions. They are just doing their own thing, right? So now they say the numbers are like this. This is all based on big data. The number is that out of 20 people who join the same opportunity, okay, almost 19 people repeat these errors in judgment, very unfortunately. Okay. And there is just this one person who is practicing these few simple disciplines regularly. Now, the interesting thing is this, that for a certain period of time, it looks as if there is no difference between how the earning is and the, the overall experience in the network marketing space for the person, one person at the top and the other 19 at the bottom. There is no difference, but things are about to change for both very soon. How? Before that, how do we identify that somebody is a part of this 19, the lower 19? How do you identify? You will find these things. You remember these exact things we have already spoken about in Brian Tracy's session. You will find that they will keep blaming, they will justifying, they will keep complaining. Whenever you notice this trend of blame, justification, and complaining, you can be sure that they are at the bottom 19. So, somebody who's saying, yes, but, I get that, but you don't understand this thing came up for me, the reason for not being able to, uh, why you did not do something that you said you would do it, justification, right? I didn't find anyone for a 3-way con call, right? My upline didn't help, blaming. This is something, I want you, all of you, to look at all this not as somebody else, but look at yourself as to, are you in this space? If you are in this space, then you need to identify the problem and address it. If the company could change that part of the pricing, that's not okay. Or, if the company could prove the product, or if they could open up a new market, complaining. What is not okay? This is not okay. That is not okay. If you notice this trend, you can be sure that they are there in that 19 ka number, the bottom side. But on the other hand, this one lone person, he is generally keeping quiet. Okay. And this one person, they are the kind of people who are usually too busy working to bother about all these things. They're just focused on what they need to do. Now, very soon, what starts happening? What happens is, now, because they have done a series of errors in judgment, okay, and of course, they have not done what they are supposed to do, things start getting really uncomfortable for this 19 in this space of network marketing, because very soon they will find that their income will start dropping. Things will stop happening. Whatever was automatically happening will stop happening. And they will, what will they do? They will just continue to blame, justify, complain, blame, justify, complain. They will just keep going on and on with that, right? And they will continue to repeat their errors in judgment. And what is the end result? They will quit. This is the pathway they will take. And the unfortunate thing is that in the process of doing this, okay, they will not just quit quietly. Since they are so good at, complaining, justifying and all that, they will reach out to the others and they will ask them, what do you think happened? And then the other 19 who are also in that same mode of justification, blaming, complaining, they will reply, it is not your fault. Okay. We are also thinking of quitting. You can only do this much. What more can you do? These are the kind of replies they will get from the others who are also doing the same errors in judgment, who are not doing the right thing. We gave it everything we had. The fact is that they have not given everything they had. They have not done everything. In fact, they have done everything to avoid all the real work and the discipline. None of them have taken that rigor of discipline to do what it takes. That is the unfortunate fact. Okay. Now there is a one kind of a risk and a very sad part in this is that this one person who's at the top, okay, who has come so far with his discipline, but he has not yet tasted success. Okay. He's seeing that there is not much difference between me and the others who are quitting. The others also didn't do much. I have done so much, but in terms of income, they are also there. I am also there. There is no difference. And they are choosing to quit. So this person who's at the top, he will see this. And unfortunately, there are some who will just stop following the disciplines and unfortunately join that other 19 and give up. This is an unfortunate part or a risky part that can happen. Why am I telling you all this? I am telling you this because this should not happen to you. That is why I'm telling you this. It is very, very easy to give up. Very easy to give up. Remember. So at this point, unfortunately, this one person who has taken all these steps so far, okay, he gives it up. Okay. And the thing is that he's actually just a few steps away from success. But he does not know it. That is the thing. That he does not know that he's just on the threshold of success. So there is a very common misconception in network marketing. So some people say that the formula of success is that you just don't quit. Just stay there. This is unfortunately not true. Okay. Of course, if you quit, it guarantees that you will not succeed. Okay. But just hanging around without doing the right things, without being consistent, without doing the right, just hanging around on the bottom side and never quitting will still not get you to succeed. Please remember this. It is very important to follow that discipline and take that consistent set of steps. Even if you're taking small steps, see, it is not that you have to spend the whole day doing this, but whatever time you have committed, you have said, I will invest 2 hours every day or 3 hours every day, whatever you have said, you will commit. Be consistent with that. Just stay with it. Okay. They repeatedly say that it is not about how much time that you're giving, but how you do it, how consistent you are. So if that continues, then what happens? Okay, that one person who persists, in spite of that, it is very lonely here. Okay. And in this loneliness, you may actually have to look for other disciplined people for encouragement, which is why you remember we said that you latch on to people who are more successful, because these people who are successful, if you latch on to them and you are at the bottom of that set of 5 people, you are the sixth bottommost, or the the least successful, the least income, the others will pull you up. So you need to look for others who are disciplined and look for encouragement in them. But the moment you do that, things will start happening. Suddenly, at a certain point, which is like a point of inflection, suddenly things spike up at an unbelievable pace. You will find that suddenly success is at your doorstep. Very soon, that zone of discomfort turns into a zone of comfort. You will again recollect that we have spoken about this Senthil's session of day before yesterday, where I have sent the audio synopsis to you. It is very, very important that if you want to be successful, you have to identify that zone of discomfort and keep staying in that zone of discomfort. Keep staying there till the zone of discomfort becomes the zone of comfort. And that will happen beyond a point. At a certain point, suddenly it will happen. That zone of discomfort will turn into zone of comfort. And that person, he or she, is on his or her way to success. So now we looked at this whole journey, what is in the front side and what is behind the scene. Now this we can relook at it in a completely different way. But remember, the point is that this programming of yours is what is going to finally lead you to this lifestyle that we are looking at. So it's not just the activity, you have to go backwards, change the programming so that it's a series of things that leads you to this lifestyle. It is at the end of it, this programming can lead you to the lifestyle of your choice. And it is your choice, that lifestyle creation, because if you change your programming, you change your lifestyle. Now, there are, in terms of disciplines, there are just 7 disciplines or 7 skills, if you want to say so, that we talk about. So, first, finding prospects, that is, find people to talk to. Second, invite your prospects. Invite your prospects to take a look at the product or the opportunity. Then the presentation. Okay, each one is a skill by itself. Let them know in the best possible way what is it that we have to offer. The closing call, helping them make a decision. Follow up. Remember that it takes 4 to 6 exposures for anyone to take a decision. So that follow up step by step for 4 to 6 times at the very least is essential if we want to make that a closure. And finally, not finally, the next step is, of course, getting them started. Whatever you have done, whatever somebody has facilitated for you, you have to facilitate for the next person. Help them to join our business in the most efficient way possible. And the seventh skill, very, very important, is promoting events. Eric Worre says that this is the single most impactful skill that can help your business grow. So, building on these 7 skills is your key to success, right? Finding prospects, inviting your prospects, presentation, closing call, follow up, getting them started, and promoting events. Now, this formula for success and failure, we have looked at it. We have seen that this is the journey. But what is it really? We will look at it from a completely different perspective. Just keep watching. This whole sequence is like this. Suppose you were to just stack it up vertically, that at the base is the programming, which leads to your thoughts, which leads to your attitude, then activity, results, lifestyle. You can visualize it as if it's a tree, right? Where the trunk is the activity, the branches are the results, and the leaves and the fruits are the lifestyle that you're enjoying, right? So if the lifestyle is the leaves, the results are the branches, and the activity that you're doing is the foundation or the trunk, right? This is how we grow in life, in any area of life, and this is the formula for success and failure. You visualize it like a tree that is growing. Now, the beautiful part is that there is a whole portion which is hidden from our eyes, which is what is below the ground, right? The entire root system. That entire root system is this: the programming which leads to thoughts and your attitude. This programming, thoughts, and attitude is the root system. And this root system is what is driving deep. Okay. And that is what gives the life to this tree, and it is what gives the stability to this tree. Suppose you were to build this entire thing right from activity upward, right? And also, this root system also gives the longevity to this tree. Long life, a life itself, stability, and a long life, right? If you try to do this whole process, activity upward, without the root system, it is like, you're sprouting without the root. And what will happen is that you will just get blown over. Unfortunately, for most people who get blown over, this happens because this programming and this set of things, the attitude, thoughts, and programming, that is what is behind the scene or what is below the soil, has not been taken care of. So remember, what again I'm reiterating, programming leads to thought, thought leads to attitude, and that attitude should lead to your activity. Activity, of course, will lead to results, and that will lead to your lifestyle. So don't just start with the activity. Please be conscious and change this programming. Again, remember that when we are in the activity, remember that a few simple disciplines practiced every day is what is going to lead you to success. And on the other hand, a few errors in judgment repeated every day will lead you to failure in exactly the same space. With exactly the same opportunity that everybody has, some people succeed and some people fail only because of this. That there are some people who are having that rigor of discipline and consistency to follow a few simple steps religiously every day. And remember that we are trying to build these 7 skills. Remember, these 7 skills are the key to your success. So if you have not built any one skill or any set of skills, or it is also possible that some of the spaces may be your zone of discomfort. For example, for some of you, presentation is a weak area. You'll feel that, I'm not comfortable presenting. Or for some of you, inviting your prospect may be a weak area. For some of you, follow-up will be a weak area. Closing call. For some of you, you're hesitating to make that closing call because you're saying that, okay, I've already presented. Now, why should I bother them? They will come back to me. Whatever is your weak area is your zone of discomfort. Choose, make a choice to first learn the skill. The necessary videos are available. Any one of you, whichever area you're lacking, please message me. I will send you the respective skills, or I can send you the entire playlist of 1 hour each Eric Worre's presentation on each of these areas. I will invite you to actually go through all of it once, all of you, right? And if you have not gone through it, definitely you have to go through these steps. Whichever weak area is there, take it as a challenge and go into that zone of discomfort and make that change. And you will find that things will start happening. So my question is this: which side are you standing on? Are you standing on the side like, you're at the top of, that five set of people, you're that of that five people with whom you spend most of your time? Are you on the top, or are you at the bottom of the five people whom you're standing with? What is your stand? You have to make a decision. Thank you very much.